Hi, folks. So, I don't know if I can explain this correctly or well enough, but it's in a nutshell basically, it's how I find that people approach and dealings with spirituality and consciousness is done in a very sort of childish way. Okay, not everybody, but I'm talking about sort of the mainstream spiritual folk, if you want to call it. I don't know what the word is. I don't know if it's New Age or there's no particular camp that you can put these people into, but it's the people that use words like enlightenment and spiritual and energy. Energy is a big one, and vibration and divinity, and I mean, I use these words as well. Soul and did I say vibration? I think I said vibration. Uh, and white light, expansiveness, revealing. Okay, but you know, many other terms or words that I can't really think of, and on a very repetitive way. And I suppose I'm saying this because I don't know why, but I attend these meditations once a week here in South Africa. It's a local, it doesn't matter where it is, it can be anywhere in the world, I find, but I join it and it's a live group, and I think maybe I join it because it's, in my hood almost. So it's on Zoom and whatever it is. And I just find it to be, I mean, I enjoy it for myself because, I don't know, just I do enjoy the meditation. I don't listen to the guided meditation. It just actually, I put my headphones on and I simply just don't listen. In the beginning, I do. It helps me relax and I listen, and then eventually I need to cut off because there's so much guidance in this meditation that it's absolutely distracting. And it's so much actual hypnosis going on that it's just, there's no point. I mean, you're just being hypnotized. It's just like, the teacher, the meditator is talking, and you can imagine the white light, which is nice, and I enjoy this, and it really is. But then again, it's like, and then imagine that there's a copper coil under your feet that's vibrating at a certain frequency, and then rising up to each one of your chakras, and dissolving any unfinished business, which I don't know what that means, unresolved pains, again, which I don't know what that means, that which needs to be healed, that which needs to be connected, brought together, harmonized, and like I'm thinking, what? Like, what are you saying? I'm sorry. So I don't listen to those parts of it, and but I like the energy to be engaged with other people, at the same time, which is, I find, very rather beneficial and in certain ways. But again, I think I tune out from the instructors, the meditators, the teachers' guidance, right, after the first probably 5 minutes. And I check in every few, well, not every few moments, because I'm on my own mission. Hey? It gets real for me, and I feel myself. Again, I'm using the same words, but in a way, but just the depth of it, sort of the magnitude of it, like the rawness of it, like getting in touch with a lot of my irritations at the moment, okay, a lot of my frustrations, but it's very, very real. It's very intimate. It's very personal, okay, and like I'm in a different, I don't know, dimension almost, so inward. And all I'm hearing from this woman is that, and you'll probably feel the tingling in your fingers, you know. What are you going on about, all of this thing? And the tingling might run up past your wrist and into your elbows. And that tingling, imagine it's an effervescent light that is, cleansing all your auric fields. And I'm like, and I'm realizing, when most people are operating on within this meditation, this is what I feel. Again, because also I read the question, I mean, I listen to some of the questions and where the people are holding, but I think that's where I through just not this meditation, but countless of meditations that I have been to, group meditations, sittings of some kind, yogas, oh, you name it. You just about name it. And it's the same thing. It's like, again, it's so mental and it's just words, and it's just, there's nothing deep or rich or raw about it. Okay. And I even feel that when people wake up, when the meditation is over, firstly, I don't know, I mean, each to their own, but I don't think one should be meditating for more than probably about half an hour at a time. Well, depending what you just think about what meditation is, but, for myself, I don't know, depending. Look, whatever, that's something different. But again, I think there's also this impression that the longer you meditate, the higher quality it is, and the more disciplined and serious you are, whatever it is. And I don't know. Sometimes I think you just actually start falling asleep, where it's just not helping. I mean, even for myself, going deep, I mean, my body's relaxed, and I feel my head sort of nodding off and catching myself, and I'm realizing I'm falling into sort of is it the beta state? Right, and whatever it is, it's not really helping me, because then again my imagination's picking up, and it's not so much my thoughts, it's like a story start in my head. When you just about to fall asleep, you start wandering off. So I feel myself wandering off, and then I pull myself back, and I feel that's not comfortable. So I don't know, different strokes for different folks. But I just think we got the idea of meditation all wrong. I think we got a lot of the spirituality all wrong. I think we handle it like children. I think we're very immature about it. I think it's like, and it's very kitschy nowadays, amongst, like yoga is very kitschy. It's very trendy type of thing. And I mean, you see it in the magazines, on the front cover of a magazine called Odyssey, or something or other, I don't know. And the ladies, they're in a yoga pose, her foot on her knee, standing in that that kind of position. I don't know what the position is called, and she's in her gym outfit, whatever it is, and it's just pristine. You know what I mean? It's obviously all smiles, and you know what I mean? It's just such a gimmick. It's such a gimmick. It's like, how's this really benefiting anybody? I mean, these meditations and these yogas, I mean, okay, sure, good for exercise, stretching, no doubt about it. But I'm saying, in the real hardcoreness of it, who's it really helping? I mean, by thinking that, in this meditation, when she was doing this talk, this, the what do you call it? When she's leading you in the meditation, what's it called? Guided meditation. It's like, if you're feeling uncomfortable, offer that to the white light, and let that discomfort pass through you and manifest into the ether, and dissipate from you, and whatever it is, and clear that space, and again allow the light to enter. And I'm like, geez, who's this helping? This is not helping anything. This is not helping anybody, right? I really feel that. I mean, maybe for some, but for me, it's certainly not going to help. Okay, but I just feel, because, and it's not that I'm doing it right? But I've known other people that speak about energy and spirituality and meditations or whatever it is, divinity, and I understand the way that they break it down from their experience and their relationship to it, and their findings and their discoveries, and how it's transformed them. There's something of meat there. There's something of substance there. There's something of real deep healing that's there. And for myself, I don't know if this makes sense, but like, I feel as if when I'm relating to the others, I feel I'm not better than them, for crying out loud. It's just different. But like, because I don't know, I don't want to be on the surface of things. And some of you folks may know what I'm talking about, right? And again, so it's not about I'm any better than anybody else or something. It's just recognition. It's kind of like, I don't know. And this is just what I pick up. This is just what I feel. This is just what I understand. Because, if the teacher is in tune, really, she thinks she's in tune with the people, right? She really thinks so. I mean, afterwards she'll talk about it and say, well, Candace, I was picking up your energy, felt a little bit sort of jagged, towards when I said the word pressure or something like that, and and like Candace just politely agrees and says, yeah, I've just been, whatever it is, and goes along with it. And so the whole thing just reeks of superficiality, right? And inauthenticity. Like, what I'm saying is that from the teacher's point of view, I don't, the who's doing the guarding, whatever it is, I don't call it teacher, but whatever it is, it's like she's not in sync. She's not giving you the time. Firstly, by actually saying that, allow the discomfort to be dissolved by the white light or something like that. It's so immature. It's like in the beginning she should guide meditate for like 10 minutes and then just shut up, right? And let people travel within on their own, okay? And see what comes up for them. For myself, okay, what was coming up for myself? A lot of threading within my being, if you want to call it, of frustrations, right? Of real, like, like with everything else that's going on right now, and I'm having an issue which sounds ridiculous, but it's not, but like with monkeys in my garden, that they got into my vegetable garden and they did a lot of damage, and I've been thinking about that and how helpless I feel at times. And again, I'm actually wanting to do a talk on, on how narcissism is somewhat like nature, like sort of animals, like monkeys are kind of narcissists. They don't think about you. They're only thinking about themselves, and that dynamics. I'm going into that. I'm feeling, yes, we're living in a world of narcissism, right? And people at the top, the establishment, are controlling us more so now than ever, and they're really blocking me in many ways to just whatever it might be in that and in my life, and even my last house that I was renting, and then my landlord, and how uncomfortable. I mean, I drove past that house today, where I used to live in, and all of that stuff comes up, and the despair and the grief, and I'm just meeting it, and it's coming up, and it's because it's there, right? And even right now, I'm closing my eyes, and I'm going within it, the reality of it, the experience of it, the rawness of it, okay? And I'm being with it, and it takes time for me, I can't just move from that point, because it's coming up, right? This is coming up for me, but I can't come up for anybody. And how does the teacher honestly think that it's going to come up, or people are going to unravel or unfold or become conscious, right? And become enlightened through removing of white light, discomfort into white light, which dissipates into the ether or something like that. Do me a frickin' favor here. You know what I mean? It's like, this is not personal. This is that surely as the teacher, she has felt in herself her own depths. She knows the stillness that's required, the meeting of your deeper experience, inner unconscious experience, or just the build-up of everything that's been happening for the last year, months, weeks, hours in your own life, the subconscious things, the unsettled energies. Again, I'm using that word, but it's true, right? What's coming up for you? Surely she's felt that and realized that it takes time to actually sit with it in concentration and stillness and presence, real presence, for it to start bubbling up to the surface. Not even into the surface, because you diving into it doesn't even need to bubble up. It doesn't need to bubble up. It comes up, right? And you see, then you see your mind, like, you witness the thoughts, and just the general subtle thoughts that are popping in, and I don't know, discrediting. Just yourself, or just, I don't know, whatever it might be, thoughts that are just coming out of nowhere, and then you're tracking this, and you're seeing the nature of the thought, okay, and the energy of the thought, and the mood of the thought. And it sounds like it's in your voice, like it's, it sounds like it's you thinking it, because it's in the tone of your voice as you're speaking. It sounds like me, but it's not me. Like, where does this come from? And what's this saying? And what's this troubled voice? What is this troubled voice? I'm going into that deep, deep, following it, hunting it down, not really hunting it in that way, but just following it, dancing with it, familiarizing, whatever it might be, deep, folks, inward, massive, expansive. Again, I'm using that word, yes, but that's what I think meditation is, because it's delving into the subconscious, it's delving into the emotions, it's delving into the layers of universes that lie within us and the interconnectedness of all things, and your relationship with reality itself. So I feel for myself like I'm down in the deep end of the pool, like at the bottom, and people are just sort of dipping their toes in the shallow end or on the steps. They're just sitting, like little children busy kicking on the steps. Well, but I'm saying they're not even sitting on the step. They're sitting on the side of the pool with their feet in the steps, on the steps, and just sort of giggling and kicking around the water. And I'm deep down in the deep end. I'm like, and I look up and I can't even hear them. I just see them shaking the water or whatever it is. And I say, you have no idea what it's like down here. You have no idea. And have you ever been down this deep? Have you ever? And for myself, you can be sure that to other people, they go much deeper than me. And they look at me like I don't think they would look at me that I'm in the shallow end, but they would say, man, it goes deeper than you can ever imagine. It's bottomless. It's bottomless. And so that's the more of the real deal. And it's there. It's not elusive. It's not subtle. We just are not willing to access it. We're just not willing to sacrifice enough. We're not willing to be adult enough or mature about it. Again, this approach that the New Age takes, or just this jargon, I don't even know if it's New Age, whatever it is, this trendiness of all these things, right? I think it's just pushed by the so-called alternative media, which is media. It's just pushed. I don't know. It's people. Where the hell are people getting all of this jargon, all of this script from? Where are they getting all this type of thinking from? This magical thinking, okay? This wishful thinking. Again, when people talk about New Age being sort of candy unicorn type of people, it's like, wow, why? Where does that come from? And is it true? And so anyways, for myself, I realized it's just so childish, right? Because it's just so imaginative thinking, and it's not honest. It's not honest, right? And it's not doing anything for anybody, because I also find as well that the teacher herself projects a hell of a lot. So people will come out of the meditation at the end and say, sure, that was very powerful. I'm sure it was very uncomfortable for a lot of people. And it's like, maybe it was just uncomfortable for you. How the hell do you know what it's like for other people? And also very leading questions, So did you find that healing, type of thing? Or something or other. I don't know. I'm not that way inclined to think of, but I should write these points down, right? Or did you notice the warmth of the white light? And what are you going to say? No. But so what was my other point? But again, and also these very sort of the words that she uses. She was saying about having fleas, sort of negative fleas that jump around. Serious. But I remember Michael Tessarian doing a video on the New Age. He talked about Debbie Ford. She wrote a book called The Shadow. And in the book, The Shadow, she didn't even mention Carl Jung once. Okay? And he goes into it, but it says, basically, it's like they have just pajama parties, her and her friends. And they talk about the things that makes them uncomfortable about themselves, but they all dress up in their pajama parties like little girls, and so it makes it easier for them to talk about these things or something or other, something like that. So it's airy fairies, it's very childish, Peter Pan type of thinking, right? And I think that's also taken on away with the psychedelics as well. It's so tainted as well, psychedelics. I mean, in today's time. It's just become so trendy, and I don't know how that possibly can be, because psychedelics done in the right way, again with the right intention, in the right environment, the right setting, there's nothing airy fairy about it. There's absolutely like no hipster or whatever. I've done like ayahuasca 3,000 times, and whatever. There isn't any room for ego when it's done with the right intentions or something or other. But somehow folks have still managed to make it trendy, make it like, a competition, how many times you've done it, how many dosages you've done. Not everybody, but a lot have, right? And I mean, people take mushrooms at parties to trip out. It's like, what the hell is that for? Again, each to their own, have fun, and I'm sure many of us have done it, and I've done it myself, but I'm saying it's like a party. And meditation is kind of like, I don't know, like yoga. It's kind of like just being good to yourself. It's being sort of mindful. It's being a part of a group, a part of something that's trending, that's happening, or something like that. I don't know if I'm making sense here, folks, but yeah. So it was just quite annoying. I mean, I must say. And then again, for myself, what it gives me is a deep appreciation for how deep I've traveled, and how far I go down, and how rich the experience is for me. And I'm very blessed for that, because I think to be on the surface is just mind-numbing. I think it's just, it's for, I don't know, what a missed opportunity for most people, if that's what they think it is. I mean, some people walk away from the meditation, switch on the TV, and feel absolutely nothing from it. Like, they do feel a bit groggy. I mean, and most people think, well, I'm just, sort of just so zen right now, and I've done so much healing and work and something, or spiritual work. You see, that's the problem. People think like it's a spiritual workout. Like, okay, so I've given my time to spirituality for the week. I've done my hour and whatever it is, and I'm good. I've nipped that in the bud, and I can write that down on my calendar or whatever it is, or in my journal type. I mean, not really my journal, because whatever. But you know what I mean. It's like spiritual exercise, and I've done it. So like, I mean, I've sort of cleared my chakras. I've polished them up a little bit, and I put them in the right place. And this is how people think. I'm telling you, this is literally, like, what's what we're doing. We any discomforts, any sort of I don't know, blockages, removing the blockages. And people think it's legit, like, if I remove blockages. It's like, and they think it's, and whatever it is, because I've done my spiritual workout. Now when I go and I switch on the TV or whatever, it's not, okay, nothing wrong with going and switch on the TV, but you know what I mean, walking away, feeling that. So, oh yes, it was a good meditation, I feel so relaxed. Well, of course you're going to be relaxed. You've been sitting down, somebody's been hypnotizing you for the last hour. Of course, you've been, whatever it is. I mean, yes, your mind's still running, but somebody's saying to you, you're feeling, your eyes are getting heavy, so relax your eyes. I mean, it's a hypnosis, right? Right, just relax the muscles in your cheeks, okay? And just let your shoulders hang low. Feel the stress roll off you and into the ground. Ground the stress from your thighs to your calves, to your ankles, to your feet and your toes, and then allow it to express itself into the ground beneath you, and let that stress just flow through you, and allow that white light to come in the place of the stress and just comfort you. And it's a gentle white light, warm white. You see what I'm doing? And then like, oh, so you're hypnotized. And so, oh, that felt great, It's just, anyways, folks, it's a bit of a, and great. It's what people do. I let them do it. It's just unfortunate that this is what's going on, because it'd be really cool if there were more groups of people out there that I could, for myself personally, delve deep with and do some real deep healing, man. I mean, some community, some tribe. That would be awesome. So, I mean, each to their own, in different strokes for different folks, and whatever. But again, it's just I prefer authenticity and genuineness and real effort, and no shortcuts, right? The real deal, folks. All right, I can go on for a while, but I'll leave it at that for now. Take care, and allow this, the next moment that you find yourself in, allow to meet the energy, and that energy will, I mean, I don't know, I'm out of enough of that, but yeah. Okay, I'm getting too carried away. All right, folks, we'll chat soon. Take care.